My name's Claudine. I'm a sociology junior down at UMass Amherst. And the most important thing you have to know about me tonight is that I'm originally from outside Worcester. Anybody from Worcester? Yeah, we got you, bro. Woo, Worcester. But when I was 12, my parents moved us to Portland, Oregon. Raise your hand if you know anything about Portland. Anybody? Yeah, woo, okay. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about Portland, I'm here to tell you it's a little bit crazy, like keep Portland weird, am I right? I think we've all heard that. But what I really want to tell you about is the job I had over the summer when I was with my parents in Oregon, so I wanted to go into criminology, so I decided to take a job as a target security specialist at the target next to the Portland airport. So I think in my mind, I was kind of picturing okay, some dude would be running out with stuff, I'd be there, I'd tackle him, get the stuff back, everybody's clapping, the news shows up, it's like a cop fantasy, basically. But turns out it was not like that at all, because I show up the first day, and I meet the manager, real nice guy, and I say to him okay, I did the online training, okay, but you're gonna show me the ropes, right? You're gonna show me what's up. And he says, yeah, I'll show you what's up. So stand over here, and he points to the spot near the entrance, and I'm like, okay. So I stand over there. He says, when someone comes in, say welcome to Target. When someone leaves, say have a good day. Okay, but what about security? I mean, it says security on the shirt I'm wearing. This guy, he says to me, yeah, so corporate's actually thinking about changing that. Actually thinking about changing the job title to just greeter. Have I been scammed? I mean, you want to talk about crimes and false advertising illegal? Am I right? Yeah, but in my mind, I was like, okay, you know what? It's only 3 months. It's going to look good on your resume. You want the money? You can do this. Which is something I say about college a lot, actually. But okay, let me give you a sense of the theft situation at this Target, because another thing I didn't know before I signed up for this job was the Portland Airport Target actually had the second highest theft rate of all Targets in 2021. Yeah, that's definitely not something they were advertising. And I feel when most people think of shoplifting, they think of some dude stuffing Cheetos in his hoodie. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not saying that didn't happen at this Target, but here's what happened way more often. Okay, so some person comes in, right? Just casually stroll in. They go to the aisle that has the most expensive stuff. For example, Legos. I did not know. Apparently, Legos are one of the most stolen items because of how expensive they are. Anybody get Legos for Christmas or your birthday or whatever? Yeah. Y'all better be grateful because either your parents shelled out or they were shoplifters. Either way, that's dedication. So they'd go to the aisle. They would sweep the entire shelf or rack into their cart. I swear. They would get to the exit, and they would book it out the door, top speed. And at that point, there's nothing you can do. Because, if someone's coming at you, top speed with a heavy cart, are you seriously going to be Target security, stop, oh God! No, it's not happening. One of my coworkers was saying to me, she said, a lot of these clothing racks are on wheels. I'm surprised they don't just wheel them out, but don't give them ideas, Brittany. But, God, it was crazy. And my manager, when we were talking about the job, I was okay, well, if I'm not gonna do security, what's up? And he's yeah, we have other people for that. And what he basically meant was 2 other people. The first was the unarmed guard that we had at the Target. And I hesitate to even call him a guard, because he was basically just me, in a fancier uniform, and 2 to 3 times the pay. Anytime someone would be running out, he would slowly shuffle behind them, wait, you can't do that, it's illegal. Yeah. So not stopping many. I mean, I can't blame him, but yeah. And weird thing, so the company that hired the guards, Target contract with them, they made them do 14-hour shifts for 3 times a day. So yeah, they kept quitting on us. We went through these guys like coffee filters. I think my favorite was the first guy I worked with because he was a straight-up communist. And that's not that weird for Portland. That's not even that weird for Amherst. But this guy was not just a communist, okay? He was a fanboy for Stalin. Yeah, I was super confused when he told me that the first day, because like, we were just talking and he mentioned this and I'm like, didn't Stalin like kill a million people or something? I don't know. This dude, this man, is straight up like, well, I don't want to be that guy, but actually. And he goes on like this 30-minute like lecture / rant about how Stalin was like the coolest dude and we were all just brainwashed. Yeah, I don't know. He did this multiple days. I was going to think about asking the registrar if I get some history credit for it. Yeah, so, but I mean, like I said, eventually he quit because like they all kept quitting. And the other person we had for theft was the APS, the Asset Protection Specialist. And her job was basically to go around, like following people around that she deemed suspicious. And I think y'all know where I'm going with this. Yeah. So some dude like comes in with like a hood up, suspicious. Some dude like, maybe he's not wearing a belt, maybe his pants are sagging, suspicious. I kid you not, we had one time, because we had these walkies, right? I got a call over the walkie from her. She's like, yeah, there's a subject just entered with the hood up and an empty bag. I'm gonna follow them. And I had to be like, cancel, that's an employee. Yeah, so she was something. But yeah, it was a crazy time. Yeah, I have so many stories. I think my favorite part of the job was probably these stories, because there was one time I get a call from the tech department, right? I pick up the walkie, I'm like, hey, this is Claudine. They say, yeah, this is the tech department. There's a dude with a sword in his car. Yeah, he's kind of freaking us out. Can you come deal with it? What am I gonna do? Say no? Yeah, I'll be right there. So I grab the guard. We go over to the tech department, and there's a dude. He's just chilling with like this katana thing in his cart. And I go up to him and I'm like, "Hi, sir. Yeah. So we at Target, we can't really allow this kind of thing in the store. Could you please bring this back to your car?" And this guy gets like really upset. He looks at me and he says, "If it's in the sheath, it's not a weapon." I don't know, I beg to differ. He said it in such a monotone. You can tell that he said this to multiple people, like he's rehearsed this. And so I'm arguing back and forth. My manager comes up, and we start talking, and he says to me, well, so technically Oregon is an open carry state, so he's allowed to have it as long as it's in the sheath. And the guy overhears me, and he looks at me, and he's like, yeah. Sorry, sir, like, you've heard, like, don't bring a sword to a gunfight? Yeah, I'd like to update that. Don't bring a sword to a Target. Yeah, crazy store. Yeah, but I think the least favorite part was definitely working the night shifts, because, we'd have, like, 90% of the theft happen from the hours of 8 to 10 p.m., and, like, okay, raise your hand if you've ever shopped, like, that late from 8 to 10. Anybody? Yeah, so hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're going to hell. Yeah, bane of my existence, because, okay, first we have, like, 20 people come in all at once with the intent to steal. Like, if you ever played one of those, like, zombie defense games, that's definitely what it felt like. But even worse than them, okay, was the people who were legitimately shopping that late. Because, like, what is your excuse? Like I'd be there, it's like 9:30 at night, and some dude is just shopping for pants until the store closes. Like, what? I'm picturing, like, maybe he was, like, driving to the club, with the boys, and he looks down, he's like, wait, I can't wear this to the club. I can't roll up in a button-down and khakis. What am I going to do? Is that a Target? Yeah. And, like, okay, I don't want to, like, make fun of the people that were stealing stuff, because, like, okay, Portland has, like, a large homelessness population, so a lot of these guys, they were just trying to, like, live, okay? I'm not mad at them, it's whatever. But what I do want to make fun of is the fact that, like, Target tried very hard to, like, make everything look okay. Even though the customers were witnessing multiple large-scale robberies every single day. It's literally the everything is fine meme. Like, no, we're not getting stuff stolen. I asked the APS about it one time. I'm like, what am I supposed to say to people when they're like, seeing people run out? And she's just like, oh, just lie to them. Okay, I mean, are we just allowed to lie to customers? Like, and she's like, yeah, they don't deserve to know anything. So think about that the next time you go to a Target. Yeah, because people did get mad at me. Because I'd be standing there, right? Some dude's like, running out with a microwave or whatever, and they get mad at me because I'm not doing anything. I had one woman, like, she literally said that I was encouraging crime by not stopping them. And it's like, was I there with, like, pom-poms, like, yeah, steal that microwave, go! No, I'm trying not to get run over here. Karen, if you feel that way, you can do something, okay? You do it. And that actually happens sometimes. We had one dude who was running out, and some guy comes out of the self-checkout line and just tackles him. And the guard comes up, he gets the stuff back, the first dude runs away. I go up to the second guy and I'm like, I have to be professional. So I'm like, we appreciate your help in this matter, but technically Target can't condone customers getting involved. Dude whips out a badge and he's like, well, I'm actually from the FBI. Okay, can't argue with that. That's not even the only time that happened. There was one of our guards was sick, so we had a fill-in. And I was just casually talking to him. I'm like, so, is this your main job? Do you have like a side hustle? And he says to me, well, I actually work for the government mostly, but I can't talk about it really, if you know what I mean. Okay. How many secret agents am I going to meet in this job? Like, the Stalin dude? Maybe he was in the KGB? I don't know. I was tempted to go up to the cashiers and be like, hey, any of y'all killed Bin Laden? Maybe? I don't know. Crazy times. So around the beginning of August, it finally happened. Someone set an aisle on fire. Yeah, I was standing at the front. I pick up the walkie-talkie. I'm talking to them, and then suddenly I hear, fire! And I'm like, like what? Like actually? And I turn my head. I see the smoke coming up. And I'm like, I said some words that I cannot say right now because it's a family show. I probably should have smelled the smoke first. Like, we kick people out of the bathroom for doing drugs, like, all the time, so it didn't register at first. But then I see the flames coming up, and I'm like, oh no, oh hell no. So I start yelling my head off to everybody in the checkout lanes. I'm like, fire, everybody out, let's go. And, like, the people in self-checkout lanes, they were still scanning stuff. Like, Target shoppers are a different breed, man. But finally, I run out. The alarms go off, everybody gets the message, everybody runs out. It wasn't that big a fire. A bunch of the coworkers put it out with fire extinguishers, but we still had to evacuate, we still had to call the damage control people, all that stuff. And literally the very next week, I find out they fired the unarmed guards, that company, and they hired armed guards. And like, no one ever believes me when I say that there were armed guards at Target, but I'm not making this up. And these armed guards, they were a real piece of work. They get there the first day, I'm talking to them, and I find out apparently they're all ex-military. And I told my dad, and my dad is also ex-military, and he said I should ask them how they went from military to mall cop. But these guys, they were treating it like a military operation, the way they were going. And in my head, I was just like, okay, G.I. Joe, it's a Target. It's not Benghazi. But they were really dedicated, and yeah, they were an interesting bunch. I was talking to one of them, and he was telling me he's on this new diet. He says, so this new diet, unpasteurized milk. That's a secret. You get strong, drink unpasteurized milk. I'm like, yeah, if I want to get listeria, like, sure, I'd be strong after vomiting my guts out. Okay, I'll make sure to take that, thank you. And one of the other guys, who I should mention was actually shorter than me, I was talking to him, and I was telling him, we had the unarmed guards before, and he's like, yeah, those other guards, they're terrible. We're the big boys. He literally said that. He called himself the big boys. Like, this is what we're dealing with here. Okay, it's a target. Like, do I have to point that out? It's a target. Yeah, fun times. Thank you so much. Thank you, Amherst.